Dat Nation? How you doing? Come on in. Take a seat. Sit back. Relax. Put your feet up. Grab a drink. And let's talk Saints football. Y'all know what time it is. Time to keep it real. Let's go. Family, family, family. The doors are now open. So come on in. Hope everyone's having a great day. This is the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast. I am your host, DOLPH Jackson, and we're brought to you by the Come On In Sports Network. Well, family, today we're simply going to do our Saints 7th round mock draft. That's right. I know you've been waiting for your boy DOLPH to come on with his mock draft. Just with the Saints, we had the NFL mock draft last week on the Come On In Sports Network, but this is for my Who Dat Nation, baby. This is for home. So with that being said, family, let's get to it. We're going to get right to it. The Saints are on the clock at number 9. I'm going to share the screen with you. We're going to see who was on the board. But before we do that, we got the news Saturday about Derek Carr possibly missing the 2025 season. And if Derek Carr was to miss the 2025 season, in all likelihood, he would not don the black and gold anymore. His career as a New Orleans Saints would be over. And based on what the Saints paid Derek Carr and the expectations when Derek Carr came and the makeup of this team when Derek Carr arrived, Derek Carr's tenure with the New Orleans Saints has been a failure. Despite being over 500, which he's only one game over 500 with a 14-13 record. Before coming to New Orleans, Derek Carr was a durable quarterback. But since coming to New Orleans, he has dealt with injury after injury after injury, not consistently being able to make it through an entire season. Make no mistake about it, Derek Carr in New Orleans, the Who Dat Nation, they not only have a rocky affair, they have a dislike. Who Dat Nation, the majority just dislike Derek Carr. He comes off as fake to them, not real. Someone who didn't buy in 100% when he came from the Las Vegas Raiders. I said it when Derek Carr got here. And you heard me always say this, family, and this also goes out to anyone who will have the fortune of becoming a new member of the New Orleans Saints. If you love the city will love you back. But this city, this nation, Who Dat Nation, they can see through fakeness. They can see through something that's not sincere, not real. Did Derek Carr want to win? Yes. I believe he wanted to win here. Did he want to have success here in New Orleans? Yes. But was it for the right reasons? Did he want to have success to build upon his resume, to turn the narrative around about him, having never won a playoff game, only making one playoff appearance? He came to a team that many felt was playoff ready. He and the team and the coaching staff greatly underachieved. So with that being said, now the New Orleans Saints sitting with the 9th pick in this year's 2025 NFL draft have a decision to make. There are those who feel that Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders may fall if not selected number 2 by the Cleveland Browns. As you look at the top 8 before the Saints select in the upcoming draft, which teams need quarterback? Many thought it would be the Giants, but the Giants not only answered their backup quarterback position by signing Jameis Winston, they signed Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson will be their starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. For the New York Giants. So that takes Shedeur out of New York. Now, let's talk about Cleveland. They traded for Kenny Pickett. And they just re-signed Joe Flacco. Old man Joe, yes, the same old man Joe that led them to the playoffs 2 years ago is back in Cleveland. So Cleveland now, in my opinion, is now off the clock for a quarterback. The Patriots have Drake May. He's not going there. The Raiders signed Geno Smith. Jaguars have Trevor Lawrence. Panthers, Bryce Young. Bryce Young, after a benching, came back in and showed the promise of a #1 overall pick, which many Panthers fans were hoping to get from the day he stepped on the field. So now, to me, the draft will start at number 2. Will the Cleveland Browns still invest in a quarterback? Will they still invest in Shedeur Sanders? Or will they decide to hone in and tap in to one of the 2 blue chip players in this year's draft? Abdul Carter from Penn State, or of course, Heisman Trophy winner from Colorado. So the decision is upon the New Orleans Saints brass. But at the Come On In Sports Network, this is our mock draft, and right now we're on the clock. So let's see the Saints options right now, family, as the Saints are now on the clock with the 9th pick in the Come On In Sports Network's 2025 New Orleans Saints 7th-round mock draft. So let's see who we got on the board right now. All right, family. So there you have it. That is the current board. Those are the players. Let me get us a little background. Maybe a little quiet in here for Dolph, baby. Y'all know we got. No, we got to do a little something. All right, so here we go, family. The Saints are on the clock right now. And who do they have to select from? All right, here are the choices. You got Shedeur Sanders. It's on the clock. Amon, they find offensive tackle from Missouri. It's still on the clock. It's still on the board. Tatarori T-Mac, the wide receiver from Arizona, is on the clock, is on the board. The fine tight end Tyler Warren from Penn State is also still on the board. Kelvin Banks Jr., offensive tackle from Texas, and a young man that I'm growing more and more fond of as this draft process goes on, Matthew Golden of Texas. Yes. Now, to me, family, being that everything we just said, everything we just discussed, here I'm going to select Shedeur Sanders. To me, if Shedeur Sanders is there at number 9, new coach, entirely new coaching staff, new era of Saints football has to begin with a new quarterback. Now that it appears that Derek Carr could possibly miss the entire 2025 season or the majority of the season. No matter what, even if he comes back mid-season, it's time for the Saints to move on. It's time for the Saints to move on with Kellen Moore's quarterback, his hand-chosen quarterback. I like Spencer Rattler. I think the young man has promise, but it's time for competition. It's time for competition. Competition enhances, it improves, it makes you better. As the old saying goes, pressure busts a water pipe. Who will stand up and take the job? With that being said, family, we're going to go ahead and we're going to select Shedeur Sanders for the New Orleans Saints. That's right, family. Shedeur Sanders. We take Shedeur. With the number 9 pick, we go Shedeur. Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, Colorado. There you see his numbers from this past season. A 75.5 QB rating. 37 total touchdowns, family. Over 4,134 yards. And he is the most accurate quarterback in this draft. So with the 9th pick, we go with Shedeur Sanders as the Saints selection. Now, we're not going to do any trades. We're going to go straight to the next pick for the New Orleans Saints. So with that being said, family, we'll be right back. All right, family. We're back. Shedeur Sanders was our selection. So number 9, we go with Shedeur Sanders, family. Hey, leave your comments in the chat. I decided to record this for you guys, but I will be in the chat at the time of this premiere, and I will be chatting it up with your family in the chat. And also let me know in the chat if you would like us to do a oh my God, family, I'm brain froze right now. In the chat, let me know if you would like us to do a kickback this Friday or next Sunday. Let us know in the chat, family. All right, family. So in the first round of New Orleans Saints, we go with Shedeur Sanders. All right, family. We're back on the clock at number 40, family. We're back on the clock at number 40 right now. So what did the Saints do? We got a trade proposal here. 49ers are offering 43 and 100. I know I said we weren't going to do any trades, but let's just look at them. We'll reject them, but we'll just look at them. 49ers are offering us 43 and 100. That is not bad. Move up 84 spots. All right. Then you have the Falcons, 46 and 118. I would never help the Falcons, so I would automatically reject it. Automatically reject it. Don't even pick up the phone. All right. 43 and 100. Move back 3 spots. Pick up an extra draft pick. Move up the board. What do you say, Who That Nation? Should we? Shouldn't we? Should we? We're going to reject it. We're going to stay home. We're going to follow our model. Okay. Now, we're already taking our quarterback. So what are some needs remaining for the Saints? Well, how about defensive end, wide receiver, cornerback, and defensive tackle? Right now, Tyleik Williams, defensive tackle from Ohio State, he's on the board. The rusher from Boston College, Donovan Izuruku, he is on the board. Big Kenny Grant. This is Big Kenny Grant from Michigan. Kenny Grant, this is his scouting report. Kenny Grant is one of the most explosive defensive prospects, over 330 pounds into the draft. He fits into a rare player category with high-level blend of size, burst, and power. With his size and lower body strength, he demands significant attention from opposing offensive lines on a snap-to-snap basis, particularly in the run game. And where have the Saints been hurting for the last several years? In the run game. So Kenny Grant is definitely on my list here in the second round. Now, again, so defensive tackle, we identified. Defensive end, Donovan Izuruku from Boston College. The sack production from 2024 speaks volume. But Donovan Izuruku's tape is flooded with pro-ready technique. He uses his hands incredibly well, and he plays with relentless passion when he chases down the ball. His sack total just doesn't consist of proverbial empty calories. Izuruku earns his sacks with active rush angle manipulation and intelligent hand application and counter work. So he has counter moves. If the offensive lineman stops his initial move, he has another move to go to. Emboldened by his natural leverage, burst, bend, and proportional length, because of his smaller frame, Izuruku could struggle against the run early in his NFL career. Additionally, while he has good tools, overall, he doesn't quit. Grant Izuruku. And there you see the RAS score at 812. Okay, so here we go, family. We got both of these guys. So, right, Izuruku and Kenny Grant. We went Shedeur Sanders in the first round. These are the top players. Jackson Doe, we are the quarterback. Now, from Tyleik Williams from Ohio State, you can see I'm leaning heavy defense with this second pick. 6'2", 334 pounds. Williams is an exciting defensive tackle prospect who possesses the kind of raw athleticism and physical tools that will get NFL decision makers excited. He is highly disruptive as a run defender, and is nearly impossible to block one-on-one. In the passing game, Williams primarily wins with bull rush and overall motor, but he can convert speed to power, collapse the pocket, or stunt across the lineman and penetrate gaps. Williams makes a ton of plays late in the down, and he never stops working. Never stops working. That's something I'm liking about these three kids. They work. They got that motor. They don't need to be pushed. They don't need to be cranked up to go. They just go. Williams makes a ton of plays late in the down. He never stops working, even when his initial rush is stymied. However, he does like length, which hurts his ability to finish and pry through extensions. Okay, so what else we got? At times, Williams must develop consistent hand counters to keep his chest clear as a rusher, but he projects as a high upside run defender. Okay, family. So here we go. Is it going to be? You put it in the chat. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Put it in the chat who you want out of Williams, Ezeruku, and Grant. And I'm going to make my decision. And then once I make the selection, let me know your feelings on that selection. With that being said, family, I'm leaning, though Williams is ranked higher, I'm going to lean with the Wolverine family. But then again, think about Ezeruku, the 3-4 defense. He's slider. He can be an edge. He can, in that 3-4, he can come off that edge. So do we go defensive tackle is deep? I still got two here. Guess what I'm going to do? There were some off-field concerns about Donovan Ezeruku, but he's not going the first. This is the second round. This is pick 40. We're looking for playmakers on that defense, someone who can get after the passer. I'm going to go with Donovan Ezeruku from Boston College as the Saints' second selection in round 2. That's right. So we went Ezeruku, and here he is right here. Donovan Ezeruku, defensive end edge, Boston College this past season, 80 tackles. But look at that second number, 16 and a half sacks, and he forced 3 fumbles. That is who we go with the second round selection for the New Orleans Saints. And to keep it real, who that? Saints, 7th round mock draft. All right, family, we got Ezeruku as our second round pick. Who will we go with in the 3rd round? To know who it is, you got to stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, family, we're back. We're in the 3rd round, the Saints' 3rd round selection. To recap, we took Shedeur Sanders with pick number 9 the 1st round. Round 2, pick 40, we went with edge rusher, Boston College, Donovan Ezeruku as our 2nd round selection. So we addressed the quarterback. We addressed defensive edge, young, aggressive pass rusher coming out the quarterback. What's been another area for the Saints that we thought about addressing in the 2nd round? Stopping the run. Guess what, family? In this draft, in our mock draft, family, guess who was on the board? And I'm running that card up right now, family. Take a look, family. Take a look. Guess who's on the board, family? That's right. Kenneth Grant is still on the board. He is still on the board. He's the highest ranked player on the board. You got Alfred Collins from Texas, TJ Saunders. I see wide receiver Jack Batch, formerly of LSU and TCU. He is there. But with the 71st pick, round 3, the New Orleans Saints select Michigan defensive tackle Kenneth Grant. That's right, baby. We are hitting everything. We got our defensive end. We got our defensive tackle. And we got our quarterback. Now, where will we go with our 2nd, 3rd round pick? Hey, let's see how the bowl falls to us. All right, family. Here we got Cleveland offering us a 2026 5th round pick to move down 1 spot and get our 254. I'm going to reject that. And the Bengals, no way. All right, so here we go. We went offense, defense, defense. Look, there's a kid on the board who I like. I love Tyler Shark. I'm telling you, I love him. I think this kid is going to be a player in the National Football League. If Shedeur was gone and I went somewhere else in the first round, if that kid was there in the second round, I would have snatched him up. But he's there now in the third round. We can't go quarterback right here. We can't go quarterback. Do we go another edge? Do we go Shamar Turner? One of the most intriguing prospects because of his low production of sacks in college. But remember, there was a former LSU player whose sack totals in college were just as pedestrian as Shamar is, but he has turned into one of the best to do it in the National Football League. So with that being said, family, Shamar Turner is definitely on the clock. He is on my board. He is someone I'm going to consider. Because listen, we have gotten absolutely nothing from former second round pick Isaiah Foskey. Shamar Turner is an option here. Now, Gunnar Ham, the fine tight end from Texas. Don't make a mistake of judging Gunnar Ham solely from his subpar athletic testing at the combine. He sprained his ankle on his first 40-yard dash attempt, and that injury impacted his testing. Trust the film with Ham. It conveys his upside well enough. While Ham isn't at the level of the top athletes in this year's tight end class, he still has enough burst and bend at 6'5" and 241 pounds to sear up seams straight down the middle of the seam, attacking that seam, and make himself available on the vertical plane. Additionally, Ham can make plays underneath with his soft hands and rumbling run at the catch ability. Ham can continue to add mass to his frame despite not having high-end quickness to be a viable route runner against man coverage. Nevertheless, he's valuable and true prone. He's a valuable two-prong receiving threat and a high-effort blocker who can play with leverage. Okay. I'm not feeling him like Shamar. Nah. But what about this guy here still on the board? Tight end, 6'5", 250 pounds. Elijah Aurora from where? The U, baby, from the U. Headed to the 2024 season, Elijah Aurora had just 11 career catches in 3 years at Miami. Quarterbacks make a difference. Catching passes from potential #1 overall pick Cam Ward, Aurora broke out and amassed 35 receptions for 590 yards and 7 touchdowns. He averaged 16 per 9 yards per reception, 17 yards a catch he averaged. Injuries impacted Aurora's availability earlier in his career, but now that he's proven his ability when healthy, he has legitimate top 100 potentials. He's one of the most explosive athletes in the tight end class. With a well-built frame at 6'5" and 250 pounds with 33 arms right now, Aurora makes his money as a pass game weapon, particularly on the vertical plane up the what? Up seams. His play strength and struttedness as an inline blocker can be an issue, but all of the tools are there to develop, and there's a path for him to produce early on. All right. Now, do we go? So let me know, family. Be putting it in. And again, when this premieres tonight, we'll be in the chat and we'll discuss it. Okay. Dion Walker, but there's a player here that I like too. There's this player here. He ain't flashy. He ran a 4.6 40. But all I know, when you turn on the tape, he breaks tackles. He invites contact. He runs over people. I don't know how long that's going to last with him in the NFL, but until he starts to wear down and break down, baby, I like Cameron Scatterbo, baby. Cameron Scatterbo. Alvin. What are we going to get? What are we going to get this year from the TCU product? Injuries. Injuries keep taking him off the field, but we know what type of player he is. As for Scatterbo, a star of the Sun Devils college football playoff run in 2024, Cameron Scatterbo managed to shove his way into early round 2025 NFL draft running back conversation. Much like he shoves past first and second level defenders with broad and prejudice physicality at 5'9.5" and almost 220 pounds, Scatterbo is one of the most rocked up runners in the 2025 NFL draft, and his 39.5 vertical and 10.3 broad jump showcase the explosive capacity he still has at that size. He's a real specimen with special contact, balance, and grit. Contact, balance. Don't that remind you of current New Orleans Saints was number 41? Contact, balance. As a runner, Scatterbo bears some similarity to former Carolina Panthers Pro Bowler Jonathan Stewart, except that Scatterbo has a lot more potential out of the backfield as a receiver. Combining all that with stellar vision, great IQ, I skipped over that word, between the tackles, Scatterbo may go on to be one of the best value buys in the 2025 class. All right, family. I just went edge. We went edge, went defensive tackle. Is running back a glaring need? Kendre Miller, again, like I said, what are we going to get from him? Scatterbo is there. You got the big tight end Gunnar Ham still there. You got Elijah Aurora still there. Jawan Johnson is the only viable tight end in the tight end room right now. The Saints re-signed him. They bought him back. Kellen Moore and the new staff, they liked him. They wanted him back, and he's back. So with that being said, what do we do here with the second pick in the third round? Do we add to the running back room? Do we bring in Scatterbo? Do we go Elijah Aurora? Or do we go Shamar Turner and get another edge to affect the quarterback, another young edge to get after the quarterback family? With this pick, the 93rd pick in round 3 of the Come On In Sports Network, 7th round New Orleans Saints mock draft, the New Orleans Saints select Cameron Scatterbo. That's right. I know it. I know what you're saying. That's right. I went running back. Why? Kendre Miller has everything when he's available. But that's the thing. He has not been available enough in his career. Give me Scatterbo as our second, third round pick. And I'm telling you right now, we are addressing major needs right now. I know a lot of you are saying, well, what about wide receiver? Look, we got Olave. We got Shaheed. Veteran Brandon Cooks is here. We still have Bud Means, young promising receiver, showed flashes last year. So the Saints receivers room is not in as dire straits as many think. You need that big physical receiver. I understand. All right, here we go. Round 4, we're back on the clock, family, with the 112th pick. And who's on the board? Oh, man, I feel bad now because there's a kid that I like. There's a kid. You see this kid right here, family? Bashor Tootin from Virginia Tech. Let me tell you about this kid. You turn on, shout out to Carlos from Uneducated Sports Talk and from the Come On In Sports Network. Carlos pointed this kid out to me. This kid, listen, this kid's a baller. This kid is a baller, family. You will love him. Let me pull up his card for you. There it is right there. This is what he did. Now, he was a transfer from an HBU. I believe he transferred from North Carolina A&T, if I'm not mistaken, to Virginia Tech. This past season, 183 carries, 1,159 yards, 15 touchdowns. The running back room is deep in this draft. Defensive line is deep in this draft. Unfortunately, we cannot take a running back. We went with Scatterbull from Arizona State with our 3rd round pick. So we're not going to go back running. We're not going to do running back. But I just wanted to bring this kid up, let you see how special this young man is. Now let's get back to our board and see who's available. Right now we are in round 4, family. We're in round 4. Pick 112. Deion Walker is there. CJ West. And there's a young cornerback. That's right, cornerback Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant is an instinctive cornerback in the 2025 NFL draft with a knack for making plays on the ball. At 6 feet and 170 pounds, he combines length and athleticism to challenge receivers at the catch point. A natural ball hawk. He's also a physical defender who isn't afraid to step up against the run. That's what I wanted to bring up, family. Go look at this young man's tape. He's not afraid to come up and stick his nose in there in the run game. This young man, round 4, will be a good selection, will be a value pick in my estimation for our New Orleans Saints. But who else is on the board? You got D tackle West. Oh, but here's a favorite of mine also. You want another wide receiver? I'm going to get you one of the best run after catch, if not the best wide receivers in this draft. From the University of Maryland, family, I'm talking about Ty Felton. Felton is a speedy and explosive wide receiver with the ability to stretch the field and create separation. He has excellent, listen to that. He has excellent acceleration and fluid route running skills, making him a dangerous deep threat in any offensive schemes. Ty Felton, Shaheed Olave, Brandon Cooks. I'm just saying, fam. Felton's quickness allows him to beat defenders off the line, while his shortcuts make him effective in short and intermediate routes. He has reliable hands and shows good body control when adjusting to passes. And he's good at contested catches. His ability to generate yards after the catch adds to his playmaking value. His wide frame creates concerns over his ability to beat press coverage, break tackles, compete in contested catch situations, and as a run blocker. However, profiles as a valuable development piece whose speed will mean he could have impactful plays in certain packages. So listen, family, to me, it's out of Kobe Bryant, and it's out of Tyler, and it's out of Ty Felton. We got Kool-Aid, we got Alante, we brought Ike back, Isaac Yadam back. We still have Peyton, Rico Peyton. You want speed, you want competition in that receiver room. Run after catch ability, big play ability. Family, I'm taking Ty Felton. I'm taking Ty Felton with the full selection for the New Orleans Saints. That's right, family. Ty Felton is our selection there. The young man from the University of Louisville. I believe I have Ty's card. Let's see Ty's card. All right, there we go. Get Ty. There we go, family. Ty Felton this past season at Louisville, 96 receptions. I'm gonna say it again. 96 receptions. Who was his quarterback? Tyler Shough. I like Tyler Shough. 9 touchdowns, 1,124 yards. Ty Felton, I believe, is a great selection in the forward round and has an excellent chance to make the New Orleans Saints active roster. Ty Felton is our forward round selection. Okay, family. The 2025 7th-round New Orleans Saints mock draft brought to you by the Come On In Sports Network and live here on the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast. We'll be right back. All right, family, welcome back. Our mock drafts continue right now. We're in the fourth round with our second selection in the fourth round. We just took wide receiver Ty Felton from the University of Louisville with our first selection in the fourth round. Now at 131, we will make our next selection. But who's on the board for the New Orleans Saints, family? Let's see. Quarterback, Quinn Ewers is still there. We should do it earlier. Would it be good to bring in another quarterback? Competition. Edge from Central Arkansas, David Walker. A lot of people like this kid. David Walker is a dynamic and explosive edge rusher with a relentless motor. That is something that is being said common about these edge defenders and these interior defensive players in this year's draft. These kids play with what they like. Their hair is on fire. They are go-getters. You don't have to rev them up, baby. They come off the bus ready to go get it. He has a knack for creating chaos in the backfield. He displays a quick first step and impressive acceleration, allowing him to pressure quarterbacks consistently. Walker's hand usage and variety of pass rush moves enable him to shed blocks and disrupt plays off the edge. In the run defense, he shows good pursuit. Plays off the edge. In run defense, he shows good pursuit, angles, and the ability to set the edge effectively. That's what I like to hear. And you get after the quarterback, but what are you doing when they run after you? Are you able to set that edge with that inside shoulder, keeping that outside shoulder free, and turning the running back in? Make him cut in. Why do you want him to cut in? Because that's where your friends are coming. That's where your brothers are coming. That's where all your help is coming. If he gets around that corner, it could be adios. So he does a good job of that. His high energy and physicality make him a constant presence on the field. He needs to add strength and refine his technique as he makes the step up from FCS level to NFL caliber offensive lineman. I know, but listen, just like you can never have too many good running backs, wide receivers or running backs, quarterback, I'm telling you, I'm leaning toward this kid right here. Then there's Ali Gord. We already went running back. But there's a linebacker, Danny Stutzman from Oklahoma. Danny Stutzman boasted impressive density and length on his frame and impressive feel for finding creases to make plays around the line of scrimmage. We've seen a myriad athletic gifted linebackers fail at the NFL level because a 4.5 athlete is slower than a 4.8. One, if it takes them a half second to process the picture in front of them. That's why the Josie Jewels of the world have prospered while top 5 picks bounce around proactive squads. Stutzman likely won't ever be a game-changing player in coverage, but he has enough juice to survive carrying runners out of the backfield and matching tight ends. They're basically saying matching tight ends on crossing routes and trying to get down the seam. He's there. But we got the defensive back, offensive lineman. Let's look at Quincy Riley. 5'10", fluid, instinctive cornerback with strong ball skills and ability to create turnovers. He plays with excellent anticipation and allow him to jump routes and disrupt passing lanes. Riley's quick footwork and smooth hips help him stay in phase with receivers, while his closing speed enables him to break on the ball effectively. He has the versatility to play in both man and zone coverage. So Quincy Riley is down. Now, what about the offensive line? Offensive tackle Anthony Belton is a physical, imposing offensive tackle with the strength and length to control defenders at the line of scrimmage. He excels in pass protection using his size and footwork to keep edge rushers at bay while maintaining balance against power moves. In the run game, he generates solid push and plays with an aggressive mentality, helping open up lanes for ball carriers. His awareness and ability to adjust to stunts make him a dependable presence on the line. Now, downside, however, he can improve his pad level and has placement to maximize his power and consistency. Coaching, repetition, coaching, repetition. So, me family here, it's out of Walker, it's out of Raleigh and Becton. With that being said, family, some may call it a reach. I'm not. If we go high, Jordan Phillips, the D tackle from Maryland. Do we go back? Do I do another edge? I'm going to go offensive lineman here. Looking for young, cheap depth, young that talent. You're in the 4th round. You're looking for depth pieces right now. Players that can come in and to if a starter gets hurt and is out 2-3 weeks, a player that can come in who has a high upside. I think that's Anthony Belton. I'm going to take Anthony Belton with the 131st pick for the New Orleans Saints and their 4th round selection in the draft. All right, family, while the draft is moving on, family, let me know, family, what do you think so far about the draft? Do you like what we're doing so far? Who would you have gotten instead of who we have selected so far? Let me know in the chat, family. All right, family. Our next selection should be ready. Let's see. All right. That's right. We don't have a 5th round pick. So the board is still moving. We're going to take that off right now. So, again, with this Derek Carr saga going on, family, the question is, when did this injury happen to Derek Carr? How long, have the New Orleans Saints known about Derek Carr's injury? Was it before or after they restructured his contract? Did they know about it before restructuring his contract and still had no choice but to restructure his contract because of the way that they wrote up his contract, because of the previous contract that they gave him? If they knew about Derek Carr's injury before giving him that extension, that means that they were caught in between the rock and the hard place. They may not have wanted to do it, but extending Derek Carr, family, like it or not, was the best way for them to become cap compliance. And right now, the Saints, I believe, are about 28 million. Let me go to over the cap. Let's go to over the cap, family, and see how much the Saints are at right now. Let's go to the Saints. Yeah, let me get that out of the way. All right. Right now, let me share this tale with you. So right now, family, over the cap is projecting the Saints. Get that for you. To have $27 million. The Saints are $27 million over the cap. So a good bit of change still left, and of course, about, I think it takes what, maybe, I don't want to misquote. If I misquote, I apologize, family. But I believe it's going to take like what 8, 9, 10 million to sign your draft class. I could be wrong. It could be like 5, but they're 20. Let's say it is 10. You still got $17 million left. So the Saints are sitting good right now, according to over the cap. Now, all right, we're back on the clock, family. Let's get back. We're back on the clock. Round 6. Our New Orleans Saints 7th round mock draft here on the Come On In Sports Network by way of the Keeping It Real Who That Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Dolph Jackson. If you're liking this, family, hit that subscribe button. Join the family. Come on in. Who That Nation. I don't care. You can be from the rival Falcons. You can be from the Bucks. You could be from the Panthers. NFC brethren are welcome here also. anywhere in the National Football League. With that being said, family, let's get to our draft. Here we go. On the board now. Last round, we went offensive tackle. Now, there's a young backer named Jay Higgins from Iowa. Jay Higgins, 6 feet, 224. Jay Higgins thrives on instincts, vision, and a relentless motor. That's the theme of this draft. Relentless motor with these defenders. Though he lacks ideal size and speeds, his football IQ and urgency make him a constant presence on the field. The Iowa linebacker impacts all phases of the game, and he excels in coverage and anticipating plays before they unfold. Knowledge, film study, instinct. You don't have to be the most gifted athlete, but if you know where the ball is going, if you know the play, if you dissect the play before it happens, if you study and you understand what your opponent is trying to do, you gone. You don't have to think. You see? Go. That's what it is. He's a true leader for the Hawkeyes. Higgins consistently puts himself in position to make plays and disrupt the opposition. Now, one of the most underrated needs, I think, for the Saints is in the linebacker room. We have DeMario, we have Pete Werner, you have Jalen Ford, who was hurt last year at University of Texas. He's back. You got the young linebacker from Vanderbilt. Name escapes me right now. Put it in the chat for me, family. You got Sewell coming back. He came back late in the season off that season in the injury he suffered the year prior when he was showing great promise. So another young linebacker prospect in the room would not be bad. Now, Aeneas Peoples, defensive tackle, 6 feet, 282 pounds, is a slightly undersized interior presence who is known for his pass rush ability. We got to affect the quarterback. And where do you affect the quarterback most? Where do quarterback, no matter who it is, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, no matter who it was, all the greats you can name, where do they hate pressure the most? Straight up the middle in their face. He has a strong track record of production in each of the past 2 seasons. He's a 3-year starter who has experience lining up over tackle, guard, and center. He can burst off the line and has good short area quickness. He has won his pass rushing reps at a high level each of the past 2 seasons. Aeneas Peoples. So to me right here, family, I'm definitely going defense here. It's out of Peoples and it's out of Higgins. I know we already selected a defensive tackle, but listen, the kid can get out to the passer. He wins. We can work on the run defense. We already addressed run defense with the signing, with the trade for Gacho, and then we drafted Kenny Grant. Now I take a young Peoples, young pass rusher to go along with our great young pass rusher from the University of Clemson, Brian Bresee. So Brian Bresee and Peoples, a young interior pass rushing defensive tackle with upside that has the potential to grow into something. You get him here in the 6th round. I think that would be an excellent pick for the Saints. And that's who I'm going to go with. I'm going to take Aeneas Peoples, D tackle from the University of Peoples. What is this from? Come on. Peoples from the University. I just selected Peoples from family. Hey, it's live, baby. Live or recorded. You know, though. I know what I do. Pause. I'll go back up here and find I just selected. Virginia Tech. There we go. Resume draft. All right, friend. Hey, we family, baby. Y'all know DOLPH. All right, we're going to get through it, though. So, Isaiah Peoples is who we just went to with our 6th round selection. as we're coming up toward the end of the 2025 NFL draft, family. Should we trade back into this round? Y'all want to trade back into the 7th round? We coming up, family. Or do you want to trade this pick away? Here we go. We're on the clock. 7th round. Here we go. We got Curtis Rourke, quarterback from Indiana. Brandon Crenshaw Dickinson. Yes, Trevor Etienne, running back from Georgia. Now you're just looking for talent. Craig Woodson, safety from California. It's been kind of putting out some good safeties the last couple of years. Woodson is 6 foot, 200 pounds. He is an athletic and versatile safety known for his fluid movement and physical play. He demonstrates quick feet and smooth hips, providing effective range and deep coverage and the ability to mirror receivers in man-to-man situations. Woodson is aggressive against the run, swiftly closing downhill and delivering impactful tackles. His versatility allows him to excel both near the line of scrimmage and in deeper zones, showcasing a high motor. That's the theme. These high motor guys and effective blitzing capability. However, his long speed is a concern, potentially limiting his recovery against vertical routes. Woodson's combination of athleticism and physicality make him a valuable asset in various defensive schemes. You don't think Coach Brandon would love to use a versatile safety deep, also at the line of scrimmage with the 7th round selection? Listen, it's out of him, or how about this? Could we do it, family? It's our draft, baby. 6 feet, 195 pounds. Should we make it a family affair? Oh, this will rub a lot of people the wrong way. It's rubbing some of you right now looking at this the wrong way. Shiloh Sanders is a versatile safety known for his physicality and football intelligence. He exhibits excellent ball skills and a knack for creating turnovers. When he arrives, good things happen for the defense, bad things happen for the offense. As evident by his 80-yard interception return for a touchdown against Colorado State, Sanders demonstrates a willingness to support the run, often delivering impactful tackles. However, concerns about his size and injury history and his shoulder injury and ACL tear may affect his durability and effectiveness against larger opponents. Listen, if he's there in the 7th round, we took Shiloh. We took Shador. I personally think Shiloh is at least a day around 4, round 5 safety. I don't believe the kid will last this long. I think he's being dramatically and highly undervalued in this draft and overlooked. With the last pick, 248 of the 7th round New Orleans Saints mock draft, brought to you by the Come On In Sports Network and the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast. The New Orleans Saints select safety from the University of Colorado. That's right, baby. It's prime time, baby. It is a family affair. Shiloh Sanders is a member of the New Orleans Saints, baby. And family, we're not finished. We have another 7th round selection. Now, where do we go with this last selection? We got to do something, family. We need somebody who can effect in the passing game. Trevor Etienne is still there, the running back. Running back room is crowded now. Xavier Truss. Ryan Lane III, the safety from Navy. Torricelli Simpkins III. Ja'Cory Brooks, wide receiver from Louisville. Let's go offense. Let's see what tight end is on the board right here. Benjamin Yurcik from Georgia. Brant Kudik. I hope I'm saying it right and I'm not messing this kid's. Moliki Matavio from UCLA. 6'5". Hold on. This kid is 6'5", 260 pounds, has above average size, but average career production, having only topped 500 yards on time one time in his career, and has never had yards per route run over 2.0. He is a fluid athlete for his size with above average change of direction and straight line speed. He can create plays for the offense after the catch, with his yards after the catch per reception the past season having been at 7.0 and 9.1. Matavio demonstrates significant improved hands in his final season, as his drop rate went from 12.5% to 9.1. You can't run out the catch if you can't hold on to the ball, family. And you can see Caden Prescorn, I hope I'm saying it right, tight end, 6'5", 246, prototype size and above average college production. He transferred from Memphis to Ole Miss in 2023. This past season, he had 27 catches for 401 yards, 3 touchdowns, demonstrating his deep threat capability with an average of 14.9 yards per catch and an average depth target of 11.9. His career best game came in the 2023 Peach Bowl, where he had 10 catches for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. He is a former quarterback, which gives him strong ball skills and football IQ. Despite his size, he struggles to meet physicality in the run game and profiles as a below average run blocker, having lined up in line on just 34.3% of his snaps. Run blocking too, fam, is all about 1-2 also. So he's the highest ranked tight end on the board. Who already tackles? Guard, Cooper Mays, Adam West, Joe Huber, center. You know what? Let's look at the defense for this last pick. Let's go cornerback. You know what? That's it. Who's the top defensive player on the bay? Ron Lane III from Maryland. Ron Lane was a 4-year starter at Navy who has shown a marked improvement statistically every year of his college career. He is a special teams ace who is an effective gunner. Defensively, he is an effective zone coverage safety who is good at reading the quarterback's eyes and seeing routes develop in front of him. Has a quick twitch, so he's a quick twitch athlete who moves well and is going straight in a straight line. He has produced a quality levels throughout his college career. Lane has 3 seasons with at least 65 tackles and an outstanding playmaker in coverage with 7 career interceptions and 13 pass breakups in the last 2 seasons. He is an elite blitzer who has a natural affinity for rushing the passer with 14 career pressures on just 25 career pass rushing snaps. Lane is a below average tackler who takes 4 angles to the ball. You got to bring him down and doesn't consistently wrap up with a career 18.9% missed tackle rate. All right, so we're trying to find that gem. We're trying to find that gem. And let's look at the linebacker. Jackson Woodard. Aaron Smith from South Carolina State. Aaron Smith is praised for his leadership and football IQ. Throughout his college career, Smith has displayed versatility, adapting to multiple defensive systems. That means he's smart, and excelling in sideline to sideline coverage, covering running backs out the backfield, mirroring quarterbacks who like to get outside the pocket. Known for his strong leadership quality, he plays a key role in motivating his teammates both on and off the field. However, to succeed at the next level, Smith will need to improve his ability to shade blocks and take on blockers more effectively. Projected as a late day 3 draft prospect, Smith has the potential to rise with further development, particularly in his physical play and blocking technique. His adaptability and leadership skill make him an appealing prospect for NFL teams seeking linebacker depth. All right, so that's Aaron Smith. Let's look at Tamarion Wilson from Central Arkansas. 6'1", 227 pounds, a versatile defensive back for the University of Central Arkansas, has shown strong potential as a 2025 NFL draft prospect. Known for his adaptability, Wilson has excelled in various roles within the secondary, demonstrating both solid coverage and aggressive tackling. They got him as a linebacker, but here they're speaking as a defensive back. His physical presence and athleticism make him a dynamic force in defending both the pass and the run. However, to improve his draft style, Wilson must work on consistency in coverage assignments and refine his tackling technique. His combination of size, versatility, and playmaking ability make him an intriguing mid-round selection prospect, appealing to NFL teams in depth and flexibility in their secondary. I like that. They got him here as a linebacker, but his profile, they're speaking of him as a defensive back. So maybe he can play a little wheel linebacker, a little weak side linebacker for you. As also being, I also go out maybe in a nickel in the slot covering tight ends, or be that that strong safety and covering those underneath routes and coming up against the run. We're going to go with Tamarion Wilson as our final selection in the 2025 7th-round New Orleans Saints mock draft here on the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast, brought to you by the Come On In Sports Network. I'm DOLPH Jackson, your host, family. Hit that like button, subscribe, and remember, family, the doors are not open, so come on in. All right, family, let's recap our draft. Family, we took 9 selections in this draft. We got the quarterback of the future, Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. We addressed the edge with Donovan Izuruku from Boston College. We addressed the interior of the defensive line against the run when we selected Kenneth Grant, the big D tackle from the University of Michigan. We addressed the running back room. We know Kendre Miller, again, great promise every time he's on the field, but he has not been healthy his entire young career so far in the National Football League. With that, we take the battering ram and playmaking. Cameron Scatterbo, I don't care what his 40 says. When you turn on the tape and you watch him play, the kid makes plays. With the 112 pick, we get some more help. We get some more speed. We get arguably maybe one of the top, if not the best, run after catch wide receiver in this game, in this draft. Wide receiver from the University of Maryland, Ty Felton at 112. Then we stay offensive. We go into the line, take a young offensive tackle with upside. Anthony Belton, NC State, we take at 131. Then we go back to the defense, 184, 248, and 254, baby. We go defense, defense, defense. We take defensive tackle Aeneas Peoples from Virginia Tech. Right now, he's a really good interior pass rusher, bringing that pressure right up the gut, right in the face of the quarterback where they hate pressure the most. Has to work on his run defense. That's what coaching is for. And with Coach Davis, I'm sure he'll get them together. Then we score. We stay defense. We make it a family affair, baby. That's right, baby. It gonna be prime time in the Big Easy, baby. As we, once again, we reunite the brothers. Am I my brother's keeper? That's right, baby. Shiloh Sanders with 248. The versatile safety, underrated safety from Colorado is in the building, baby. He will be wearing black and gold. And with the last pick from Central Arkansas, a hybrid linebacker, safety, defensive back, Tamarion Wilson from Central Arkansas, a jack of all trades, versatile, has to work on his tackling angles and his tackling, but he's a versatile playmaking hybrid safety defensive back. So there you have it, family. That is our 7th-round Saints mock draft here on the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast. I'm your host, DOLPH Jackson, family. Let me know in the chat right now, family, what did you think? Give me a grade, family, for this draft. Give your boy Dolph a grade for this draft that we just had. I hope we touched, I believe we touched in areas of need. I believe we have players here with a lot of upside. I believe we have players here who can come in and immediately contribute to the Saints. And again, I say about our second round selection, Ezeruku from Boston College. If our second round selection from Notre Dame, Isaiah Foskey, had worked out, listen, he may break out this year in Brandon Staley's new scheme. But since he's been here, unfortunately, he has not. So we cannot wait anymore. It's all about competition. There's a new sheriff in town in Kellen Moore. That's why I went with Donovan Ezeruku, defensive edge from Boston College. Again, Big Kenny Grant. We got to show up that run defense right up the gut. We traded for David Gacho at the beginning of free agency. Now we come back and we get Kenny Grant at number 71. I think that was a great value pick. Then we come back after that and we get Cameron Scatterbo and Ty Felton. We close with four players that I think can make the practice squad and even push for the active roster, and Anthony Belton, Aeneas People, Shiloh Sanders, excuse me, and Tamarian Wilson, the hybrid linebacker and DB from Central Arkansas. Well, family, I hope you enjoyed that mock draft, family. Look, we done went over an hour with this. Let me know what you think in the comments, family. What you think about this draft, family? How did you like it? And listen, we're gonna be live again Friday night. Set your reminders. It's either gonna be at 9 or 10 Central this Friday evening. So be on the lookout for that. Listen, family, it's been a pleasure as always hanging out with you. And I want to remind you, if you are not subscribed to the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast, hit that subscribe button, baby. Come on in. And also, I need you to go on over also and hit Come On In Sports Network. That's right. I need you to join the Come On In Sports Network. That's it, baby. We got our YouTube channel. The Come On In Sports Network is home to Uneducated Sports Talk with your host, Mr. Carlos Clayton, and his co-host, PJ. We also have Real Fan Sports with Zach and Nonfiction. Those brothers do a great job. Zach just covered the Masters, man. Had outstanding numbers. Great job by Zach. Real Fan Sports and Nine, man. They did a great job over there. We got Come On In Bills, which is hosted by two of the most, how should I put this, passionate Bill fans there is, baby. They're always circling the wagon for the Bills. I'm talking about Lawrence and Jeremy. They're a host to Come On In Bills. And Atlanta Falcons Fandemic. I know who that nation. But shout out to my brother Cowboy, baby. He's bringing them dirty birds, baby. They're a part of the Come On In Sports Network. Cowboy, Atlanta Falcons Fandemic. They all are a part of the Come On In Sports Network. And don't forget, coming this football season, for all my Cowboy fans out there, the Hit Zone, hosted by my brother, Mr. J Hits, will be in the building. He is part of the Come On In Sports Network. The Hit Zone is coming over to the Come On In Sports Network. Listen, family, we're growing at the Come On In Sports Network. We love your support. Again, please, if you're subscribed here, please go over to the Come On In Sports Network. Just type it in, Come On In Sports Network. It'll pop up. It only takes a few seconds for you to hit that button and subscribe and get all the great content that all the channels produce as part of the Come On In Sports Network. And we are home to the #1 pregame show on all the social media, baby, as the NFL turns, baby. Nobody does it like the Come On In Sports Network. So with that being said, family, you already know. Love and who that. And I'll see you guys Friday for the kickback. We out.